Okay, so welcome back. Here is part two, and now we are looking at this amazingly beautiful, as you can see on the screen here. Each thing gives you information. Again, we are at the Stories of Lynn Museum, and we are looking at dinner service from the look of it. I've just been to McDonald's. Obviously, it's not as fancy as this. And again, it tells you all of the information, which I think is really cool, that you can literally look through it. So this is the banquet to celebrate the glorious restoration of his King Charles II in 1660. And then you've got the Mayor's Feast at Lynn in 1760. And it tells you everything they had to eat and drink on both of them. Very fancy. We've got pheasant, roast boar head. And then on this one, we've got pigeon. and obviously, you've got a canopy of turtle suet. I actually don't think you can kill turtles nowadays for food, but here you go. You've got all the nice, beautiful silverware. Absolutely gorgeous. And then, ooh, by going in here, this is the treasury. So, see, you've got the medieval, then, so the church is opposite. It's a beautiful church. Maybe I can show you a video of the church as well. I've only ever been on the outside of the church. So you have some really beautiful paintings. This is a still life with King John's cup. So apparently King John's cup is actually in the building. Don't know much about it, but it was painted. You can also try on your little ceremonial robes and get into the whole little atmosphere of it. You've got your own pretend little John cups and everything. Portrait of a councillor. It's a very different museum. It's kind of like a localized museum. Obviously, if you're coming to Lynn and you want to learn stuff about Lynn, um, I would have done a live stream, but couldn't get it to work. So here we have the John's Cup. So let's see if we can find. So look closely at the cup. How many scenes of knights and ladies can you see? Apparently the panels are individual and they point this way, and among the vines look for something. Often they seem to be pointing at each other. Okay. And then here we have a massive collection of spoons. um, some different kind of collection, but this is silver from the sea, living from hand to mouth. And these are all different types of spoons, dating right the way back. So you've got all different types of spoons. I've never really had an interest in spoons. It's a very different way to have an interest, isn't it? Um, but look, to be fair, they probably look like my type of spoons because I'm not really into I mean, do you have fancy cutlery at home? I really don't. But what do you think of the John's cup? It is very impressive, isn't it? I bet it weighs a lot as well. So here we go. The King's John cup. So discover the cup, made around 1340. It's a magnificent example of early craftsmanship from silver gilt, and I cannot pronounce that word. Features 26 individual scenes and is considered to be one of the oldest and finest of all English medieval cups. And you can turn it round and actually see, and you can press on individual parts and see each individual part of the cup. Yeah. So each individual part has its own thing, so you can find out exactly all about the cups and all of it, and then have a closer look. So, the Kingslynn John Cup. For centuries, it is believed to have been a gift to the town from King John, and it dates back to 1640 and was a myth dreamed up to explain its mysterious origin. So, whether he gave it to Lynn, who knows? Obviously, back then they didn't really keep records of stuff. No one was YouTubing it or filming it. So in here, we have again some royal robes, which is impressive, I must admit. This is quite cool, isn't it? Just to say. Obviously, I'd love to have done a live stream, but it wouldn't let me. I think it's the signal. And that is a massive ceremonial sword. I don't know what it is with royalties using ceremonial swords. Obviously, they're like, probably dates back to something like Excalibur when, they were using swords back then. Then you've got the bell, which the Lord Mayor would ring. See, the first citizens of the borough. The mayor is both a public servant and the first citizen of the borough. He has a new mayor every year since 1268 until the mid 19th century. I don't really know much about mayors and stuff. It's not really my type of thing, but these are massively impressive, and they carry them around. I don't know the significance, but they do carry around them quite a lot, and they look incredibly heavy, mind you. So that was the treasury. Let's take one last look at Mr. King John's cup, because it's pretty cool, isn't it? And as you said, you can see each individual panel, and if you look at the top, there is a man and a woman, and they are looking supposedly at each other. And then on the base of the cup, you've also got individual scenes as well. And like I said, you can go through each individual part of this, and you can look at each individual part bit by bit. As you turn it round, you get more scenes, so you can look at the individual bits and learn a lot more. Currently, you can go to different museums around the country for free by buying a lottery ticket. I'm actually planning to go to Norwich Castle as well. So if you're interested in Norwich Castle, I plan to go there as well. Although some of the castle is still under restoration at the minute. They're doing a multi-million pound something to the castle, as it's been kind of closed off for a significant amount of time. How cool is all this, look? Very cool. This is the mayor's sword bearer. There has been a sword bearer associated with the mayor's office since the 14th century. This King John sword is a symbol of the mayor's position as the enforcer and protector of the high authority and stable government in the borough. So that's quite cool. So they used them in ceremonial things. Even the royalty, if you saw during the King Charles III ceremony, he actually had ceremony of swords as well. It's usually used in like government official things where you have the swords and it's like the protector of the country. This is obviously a smaller state and it's the protector of Lynn. And then you have the cup again, and not as obviously detailed because that's got so much detail it would be hard to like detail the entire thing, but that is pretty cool, isn't it? And then like I said, you can try all the garments on and everything, and you can get right into all the like feel of it, especially for kids learning about where they're from and if they live locally especially. And then obviously you get the mayor's register. So you got Harry Humphrey, they obviously sign it when they become the mayor. And as you can see, the mayors are only in state for a year. So that's cool. Look at that, look. That's kind of cool. Right. So I will join you for part 3. See you soon.